Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will be tonight's entertainment, and as you've probably saw in the introduction, in the thumbnail, and in the title, we are going to be talking about my interpretation of the MK12 Mod H. I know it is not clone correct, but it certainly is inspired. But before we get into this, make sure you're following on Instagram, Mad Max LOP. Make sure you're following my website, maxlop.com. That is where I publish write-ups on everything. Eventually, I will get into merch one day, whether it be stickers, shirts, hats, I don't know, butt plugs, something. And if you want to help the channel financially, because, you know, this stuff costs money, and I like producing content for you all, however you feel about it, good, bad, or indifferent. But yeah, do all the things, and let's get into it. If you're unfamiliar with the MK12 series of rifles, they started life as a MK12 Mod O, which is similar to this. There's tons of videos on YouTube about them. You have the MK12 Mod 1, which I did a series of YouTube videos on back years ago. And then off those, you have two offshoots. Off the Mod O, you have the Mod H, which is the Holland, which is named after a gentleman that pretty much took a Mod O, shorter barrel, shorter gas system, and used it as a, I don't know, probably the same idea, but it's shorter, easier to wield and everything. But it still had the tube. And then you had the Seal Recce, which is pretty much a 15.1 inch barrel on a Mod 1. I am no weapons historian, but that is the quick and dirty of it. What we have here is my OG AR that was the first AR I ever built. But I decided to take the ALG handguard off and put on a tube. And put on the little rail here. I forget what that's called. It's like a recce rail or something like that. Both made by PRI. And then I put these Ace, I believe, SOCOM stock, just because they look cool. I saw a guy I'm following on Instagram selling it, so I picked it up because I liked it. And decided to make this more into a recce SPR build. But then I had this very dated Mark IV, so I figured it was aesthetically pleasing to add it to this. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but back to front, you got the SOCOM Ace stock. You have a billet lower. Yes, it is clear. I just want the 20 round mag in there for aesthetics. You have a billet lower. It is a Black Sheep Tactical. Back in when I was stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas, my commander at the time had a small manufacturing operation going on where he produced uppers and lowers. They were billet. And I've been rocking this since the beginning. 2015 maybe? Yes, 2015 is when I purchased this. Up top is just a keyhole forged upper. I believe I got it from Surplus Ammo around that same time. And this has hella rounds through it. And never had an issue. I have an RCA bolt carrier and just an M4 Surplus bolt, which I would assume is a Toolcraft, but I don't know for sure. The barrel is a Ballistic Advantage 16 inch, just like regular ass 1-in-7 twist barrel. And I've been rocking this barrel for a very long time. I couldn't even imagine, like, if I told you a round count on it, I'd be lying. It's a lot. Probably, I mean, it's 7 years of beating the piss out of it on there. And it certainly needs to be cleaned, but it still holds groups tight enough for what I'm looking for. Like I said before, we got the PRI carbon tube. It came FDE. The rifle had a Lumahide forest green or OD green, whatever they call it, on it already, but I feel like the contrast between the tan and the green and then a little bit of painted back here, I thought it was a good look, you know, with the green barrels poking out too. I figured it was a good look. And up front here we got a Surefire 4-prong because they've been becoming available more and more often, and whenever I see them I just buy one. I have them on both of my AR platforms just because. They flash hider, I mean, this is a very soft shooting gun because of the medium length gas system, and I believe I run an H2 buffer in here. Yep, and the H2 buffer, it's a soft shooting gun to begin with, so the compensator, not really necessary. My complaint is that this does have the tuning fork thing on it, but it's, you know, cracking eggs here, or splitting hairs. Anyway, yeah, so we got the tube here. Then you got a Harris on a, I don't know what kind of Picatinny mount this is. It's not QD. I probably should get a QD for it, but I mean, I can run around shooting it like this all day, no problem, but it would be helpful just to be QD. Anyway, Harris bipod. Big fan of these. I wish it was the notched one, but it isn't. I had it laying around. And come on, baby, go home. Why won't you go home? There it goes. And up top here, we got a Mark IV, 3.5 to 10. It would be right at home on like an SR, or I'm sorry, a M110 or Mark 12, what have you. But this one is specifically calibrated for 308 168 grain. I'm assuming like the federal gold medal match, but it is a MOA adjustment, but each click is one MOA, which is unfortunate. But it has a mill TMR style reticle. So I mostly hold over with it, but you know, sometimes you got to dial and hold, and that becomes confusing, which is, I just don't understand why the military did that back in the day with the mill dots. Mill dot reticle MOA adjustment. That was pretty silly, but it is what they did. The windage on this is half MOA, so a little more tight adjustments, but this will be getting replaced with this Mark VI in the very near future, just because that is more my style. It's got TMR reticle, it's mill, which is better than mill MOA, which is, again, annoying. But that is the gist of this rifle. I worked up a load of a 262 clone. I don't know why I quoted the 262. It was a 262 clone. And I have 100 rounds of 262 that I've been shooting through it. And I've noticed in my experience with Mark 262 that it doesn't shoot the tightest groups, but it's always consistent. Some 223 ammo that I've put through this, match grade stuff, it's like a 3/4 inch to a 1 inch gun consistently. The 262 is closer to a 0.9 inch to a 1.2 inch ammo, but it stays right in that, and it's plenty accurate enough. I recently took this out to 680 yards, and I was shooting both ball ammo and my 262 clone, and I was making impacts with relative ease, and that was even with dialing and holding and then reading the wind and everything. It was a windy day out there, but I was making impacts. Once I get this set up with the Mark VI, I'm going to throw the trigger cam on there and do like a short or whatever, an Instagram video, a reel, if you will, of me just going out there hitting targets out at those distances with a couple different camera angles, including the trigger cam. But this is something I've been playing around with for probably 6-8 months. If you follow me on Instagram, you've known about this for a while. And I just felt like it was necessary to do a video on it. I will have a write-up coming out with this very soon, if not at the same time that this video is published, so it will be in the description below. Let me know your thoughts on the Mod H. Trigger. Oops. Trigger. it is a Geisley SSA. Just like everything else I have. Very tactile rosette. And nice and light. You hit a nice crisp wall. But that be the gist of it. I've done several videos on the basis of this rifle since I've started doing this YouTube thing. And really the only difference on this one is the stock, the optic, and the handguard muzzle device. But the heart of the rifle has essentially not changed in like 7 years at this point. The barrel, bolt carrier. Actually, I've swapped bolt carriers around, left them a lot, just put them on rotation. Like I'll do an upper that needs one. Details. But yeah, this is my Mod H-ish, my inspired by a Mod H build, and I'm a fan. This isn't the most, you know, up-to-date stock, but sure does look sick, and it does the job well. But short video, that's my Mod H-ish. Now, if you have any questions about this, if you have any questions about other Mark 12s that I may or may not have shot, if you have any comments on the Mod H or other Mark 12s, or if you just want to talk shit, drop that in the comments. If you like the video, as always, make sure you share to your mother, brother, sister, cousin, you know, your wife's husband, and, you know, your boy, fucking girlfriend's, whatever, people that you know. And yeah, that be it. Oh, of course, if you didn't like the video, eat a dick. We'll see you next time, friends.